Hey everybody, it's Commander Clyde. Welcome back to some more patch notes. This is 9.1. Buckle up, boys and girls. We're going to be here for a while. I have not seen any of this content because I did not look at the notes or the patch show. I've not been on PTS, so I'm blind as ever. Here's a bunch of skins. I guess Hellfire's going to get some kind of theme, or it's like a battle pass thing. Bunch of themed skins with that. Here's some more stuff from another event, Gotta have the prototype skin for Charybdis because, you got the one for Scylla. And here's all these other things. Also, there's an Apollo visual update. There's a lot happening right here just to start with. Still got the cool hair because, he has to. Updated armor, though. Looks a bit more interesting. Doesn't just look like some dude wearing a robe. And here's this stuff. You can buy this thing here for $40 and it gives you stuff. I'm going to say January 25th is the main release. So we have 20 days. Roughly 3 weeks. And then the Dharmic Era event, Hindu themed thing. And here's all the stuff. I'm not going to bother reading it because this is the boring stuff. This is the baby stuff. We don't care. Here's some bug fixes. We might want to read the general gameplay because this may be important. Fix an issue where accounts at exactly level 30 would experience matchmaking issues, making it hard to get a match in Joust Arena or Conquest. Actually, it doesn't matter for us. Okay. Quality of life, we got a bunch of new audio stuff for all the things to tell you when certain things, important things are happening. There you go. The volume of this ambient music can be adjusted with a new volume slider labeled ambient music. Oh. All music packs will now have ambient music. And then the Apollo remodel. They give us this tiny section here. Everything's been updated on him. All you really need to know. Commendation Awards as usual. Here's the rank stuff. Get the previous user's ranked border and Janus skin that goes along with that. And then this year will be the Grave Golem Geb, which we saw up at the top earlier. Then we do all that stuff. Yeah. Ranked reset, a soft reset. All players will have their MMR compressed toward 1500. This has a more potent effect on players who are further from 1500. So they're not being reset to 1500. They'll just be near it if they're above it. So it might be the same thing as the last time where Masters players get reset to like between 2K and 2400. And then soft reset players will be set to a rank that corresponds with their new MMR. Post reset, all god leaderboards will be reset. System has been adjusted to make higher ranked god borders easier to obtain. Made further adjustments to god leaderboards to make higher ranked borders more attainable. And then one of the most awaited things of this next season is going to be Slash. Here we go. Smite's first totally new and permanent game mode. Not really. In years is finally launching. Slash takes elements from both the Siege and Clash modes and merges them together into an entirely new mode. The map features traditional Tower, Phoenix, and Titan objectives and a jungle size in between those of Siege and Clash. The open center area and 5v5 team sizes from Clash ensure frequent fighting and rotations and new Juggernaut camps that can be cleared to spawn your own Juggernaut that push lanes and can be teleported to like Siege. Order players will play from the Maya side, featuring an all-new art set for this classic Pantheon. Chaos players will be playing from the Egyptian side. We are very excited to introduce this new casual objective-focused map in Season 9. 5v5 team size, standard, starting level in gold, no banned items. Counts for all types of progression and relevant quests and appears in match history. Accolade for slash matches played. The games will be removed from normal queues, will still be options in custom matches. Map layout. Apophis chosen Juggernauts. Juggernauts have a completely new look. Modeled after the boss of this map, Apophis, the humanoid snakeman, will spawn in specific camps across the map, and when defeated, will join the team who dealt the final blow. They will push down lanes and use a variety of melee and ranged attacks. The minion counter to earn Juggernauts from Siege will not exist on this map. Players must clear the camps to spawn a Juggernaut, which I'm assuming is here and here. So either side. I imagine when you're looking at the map in game, it might be vertical. I'm not sure how they're going to do that. Portals. If your team owns Juggernaut, a portal will open in your base. There will now be 2 different portals to allow players to choose which lane to travel to in the event 2 Juggernauts are being owned at once. Teleportation is no longer instant, but instead of fast fight down the lane path, flight down the lane path. I mean, gods are immune while traveling. Objectives. Apophis will remain as the main jungle boss in the middle of the map, obviously. Font and center at 10 minutes. The team that slays Apophis is granted a buff. It grants plus 50 magical power, 30 physical power. Enemy gods hit by your abilities take damage equal to 2% of their max health over 4 seconds. You heal for 4% of your health and 2% of your mana every 5 seconds. Damage to enemy structures increased by 25%. At 20 minutes, he becomes enhanced, giving you 70 magical power, 50 physical power. Enemy gods hit by your abilities take damage equal to 4% of their max health over 4 seconds. You heal 4% of your health and 2% of your mana every 5 seconds. Damage to enemy structures still 25% increase. And then Juggernaut Camp, we really don't need to explain what they do. If you've played Siege, you know what they do. A middle contestable pair is on the outside of each lane, as I expected. First spawns at 4 minutes, respawns every 4 minutes. Both camps in the contestable pair alternate between hosting a Juggernaut and an enhanced speed, mana, or damage buff. Slaying a Juggernaut in one of these camps will spawn a Juggernaut in the lane it is closest to. A safe pair near each team's base will spawn first at 10 minutes when Apophis arrives, and respawns every 4 minutes. Slaying a Juggernaut is one of these camps will spawn a Juggernaut in a random lane, prioritizing the lane without a Juggernaut already in it. So that safe camp is probably here. It'd make more sense if it was the back location, but that looks like it's a buff. I don't know where they're putting that. Anyway, the base stats: XP 150, gold reward 50, health 1500, physical protections 30, magic protections 10, physical power 50, scaling every 2 minutes with plus 150 health, plus 4 physical protection, plus 1 magic protection, and plus 4 physical power. Jaguar speed buff holders, it's a speed buff, it's a blue buff, it's a red buff. I really don't need to read that. We know what these things do. And before we get to Conquest, let me take a drink. Anyway, a new season is upon us, and thus the Conquest map must change accordingly. This new map features a series of major changes. First, the map's art style is being changed to reflect the peaceful age that Shiva has ushered in. The Order side displays a temple to Shiva side by side with Mount Olympus, and the Chaos side has become overgrown after Tiamat has abandoned it, and mortals are now dismantling and rebuilding the ruins as they see fit. The lighting is a bold daylight, a stark contrast from the dim and dark winter visuals, which honestly I kind of preferred the look of that. But you know things gotta change. Next, a major new gameplay feature is being introduced. The Obelisk, These create a new objective cycle that overlaps on top of other map objectives. This cycle creates a big shift in the jungle that teams can use to get big advantages, and it also provides a unique reward to the team that fully charges their Obelisk each cycle. And most importantly, you do not need to deliver anything to the Obelisk to charge them. Just pick up the offerings anywhere on the map. Okay, well, here's that, and then there's balance changes with jungle bosses becoming more lethal, and cyclical features like Draugr and Mist Lanterns are exiting the map, although they always could return. See, when we get to the new objective here, here's my problem. You're introducing a new gameplay element when people barely can play the current version of Conquest proficiently. Why are we making the game unnecessarily complicated? You know, I'm for having gods have complicated kits and stuff like that, but that's gameplay mechanic with a particular god. That's a different thing than an overarching, you know, objective on the map. I mean, with how difficult it is for some people to already master or understand Conquest, like, what is the purpose of doing this? I really don't understand why we need this. We don't need this. I would have taken, you know, more complicated god design, changes with items and stuff like that. I prefer that to just introducing new mechanics for no reason other than you're bored. This is not what we're looking for. Anyway, overview. Each team has an obelisk on their side of the jungle. The obelisks are banks of power, which teams power up by collecting offerings. Offerings are pickups that will drop from marked camps when obelisks become active. The first team to fill up their obelisk with 7 offerings is granted Hydrous Scepter, a powerful new type of jungle buff. At 4 minutes, the obelisks become active and certain jungle camps around the map become marked. Jungle camps that become marked immediately respawn at this moment if they are dead. Clearing a marked camp spawns a single offering that another team can pick up to add 1 point of power to their obelisk. Marked camps are much more dangerous than normal jungle camps. Naga monsters spawn near the center of each lane, which also drop an offering when slain. I mean, it doesn't necessarily make it more complicated because you don't have to do anything except kill the marked buff, pick up the thing, and that's it. But it's just an extra unnecessary gameplay mechanic. While the obelisks are active, the jungle camps remain marked until one team powers up their obelisk completely. Offerings can be stolen from the enemy obelisk by standing within its radius and taking 10% of their current health as true damage for every offering stolen. Ew. Why would you ever want to do that? When one team has filled their obelisk first by collecting 7 offerings, the team is granted Hydrous Scepter. Unless this is just really powerful. Both teams are also awarded 25 gold and XP per player for every offering they collected while the obelisks are active. Both obelisks will become inactive for 4 minutes. Camps return to normal. Offerings can no longer be collected. New jungle buff Hydrous Scepter spawns at the obelisk for the team is powered up. Theirs first cannot be picked up by the enemy team. Has a lifetime of 4 minutes, which begins ticking down as soon as it spawns. The scepter will follow the first friendly god that touches the scepter. While following the scepter has 2 modes. Oh, now you gotta decide who gets the stupid thing. If no enemies are within 35 units of its owner, the scepter grants an aura of 25 HP 5 to all nearby allies. This effect is tripled for friendly structures. If enemies are within 35 units of its owner, the scepter will fire ball lightning projectiles every second at up to 5 enemy targets simultaneously. Each projectile does 3.5% of the enemy's max health. Why? The scepter prioritizes targeting gods. That's kind of... What? Why? This just gives you instant... If you're going into a team fight, instant advantage. That's kind of stupid. Because it's like, oh, I killed camps faster than you. Let me deal a bunch of damage to the enemy team. Like, that's your advantage for doing this. Why? And what's the point of both teams have it at the same time? I don't know. Basically nothing. Everyone's just in the team fight with 3.5% less of their health. I don't know. I see no point. And here's the Naga. These will spawn in place of the previous Lesser Scorpions. 2 in duo lane, 1 in solo lane. Remove the healing deployable spawned by Lesser Scorpions. Drop offerings. Scorpions, greater scorpions. Now only reside on the fire giant side of the map. Each team now has 1 on their side of the map. Destroying greater scorpion now enhances all of the jungle buffs on the side of the jungle for that team that has slayed it until the scorpion respawns. Lesser scorpions have been removed from the lanes. And now this model has been moved to be the green buff because Draugr is gone. So no tiny boys with the green buff over there. Draugr is gone for now. Fire Giant increased physical magical power scaling from 2 to 4. Pyromancer, the same thing. Gold Fear increased base physical power from 120 to 130. Increased physical power scaling from 2 to 4. Also, Naga XP reward 75. Gold reward 50. 660 health. 9 physical prots. 2 magical protections. And 28 physical power. Could be a little bit dangerous, those guys. Greater Scorpion increased base physical power from 60 to 70. Ooh. Those guys already hit kind of hard early. Lesser Scorpions, support buff, XP reward 34, gold reward 24, health 300, physical protection 9, magic protection 2, physical power 15, and I guess they will have the same scaling that they already did. Anyway, arena update. It's Roman. Increased gold spooling and XP spooling from 10 to 12. Hey. Chinese joust changes. Joust is seeing a similar change in arena with a shift that will lead to higher late game XP and gold with a slightly larger emphasis on XP as players often struggle to hit level 20. It should also be noted that we plan to keep the current Joust map as the default for the foreseeable future. It largely outperformed the classic Joust and Jade Corruption maps. It was the most popular map then, which is not a surprise to me. We might experiment with some more rotations, but for now this will be our Joust mode. I mean, I think that and Jade Corruption are fine. I don't think anybody really wants Classic Joust anymore. That map is not fun to play. Games are too slow on it. Anyway, all lane minions increase scaling frequency from every 3 minutes to every 2 minutes. Increase scaling XP reward from 0 to 4. Increase scaling gold reward from 0 to 1.5. Melee and brute minions decrease base XP rewards from 65 to 60. Range minions decrease base XP reward from 45 to 40. Relics. Big overhaul. The cornerstone feature for Season 9 is a huge overhaul of the relic system. Many relics are being changed or balanced. Some are removed, but most importantly, they are all getting 2 new unique Tier 3 upgraded versions that provide powerful effects. Relics are a huge aspect of skill and smite, as timing of their usage and which ones you pick up can have a big effect on every match. We are adding even more depth to the system to provide players with a unique set of abilities that complement their gods and teamwork. Blah, blah, blah. Relic Diversity. Do I need to read this whole block of text? Yeah, there's 2 types of beads and Aegis now. Wow, crazy. Here we go. Base relics still awarded based on level. First relic at level 1. Second relic at level 12. Relics will now have a tier 2 form and 2 different tier 3 forms priced at relic 1 free, 2 300 gold, tier 3 800 gold. There are no level restrictions or timing restrictions on upgrading relics. Players can spend up to 1100 gold to fully upgrade one at level 1 if they desire. And we could see that. That could be interesting, depending on what some of them do. Anyway, Aegis Amulet, cooldown decrease. Cooldown. If it's just a one-line text, I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to point out, here it is. It's a tier 2. We're going to talk about the tier 3s, because the other ones aren't different. Aegis of Acceleration. Using this item makes you invulnerable to damage and healing for 1.5 seconds as usual and prevents you from taking any actions. You may still move. Each instance of damage prevented in this time provides you 7% movement speed for 4 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. So this is a get it and you get out. This is ultimate safety. So not only can you still move, but you get faster if you prevent damage. Wow. That's pretty fun. I mean, it makes sense. Get you out of trouble quick. That's what the item is made to do, since it prevents all damage. Aegis of Judgment. Using this item makes you invulnerable to blah, blah, blah. Same thing. At the end of the duration, you blah, blah. At the end of the duration, you explode, dealing 100 plus 50% of the prevented damage as magical damage in a 30-unit radius. What the hell? The damage dealt by this effect is capped at 50% of your maximum health. That's still a lot if you're... What does stop you from being a guardian and getting this just so you can deal, like, if it's 50% of your maximum health. Let's say you have 3,200. So 1,600. It's prevented damage, so you may not take enough for that to actually work. But if you did in that case, you could still do, like, if it did prevent you from taking half of your health, you deal 800 damage. It's kind of funny, but I don't think this is going to be feasible to game this effect so you can get the most damage out of it. Because most of the time you're getting it on a god that has very little health. Anyway, Belt of Frenzy. Well, there's multiple changes here, so I guess we read it. Damage increase from 10 to 15%. Duration increase from 5 to 6 seconds. Cooldown increase from 120 to 130. Same number on here. The duration on Greater Belt is decreased from 8 seconds to 6 seconds because it's essentially the old tier 3. Or it's essentially the old tier 2 relic, excuse me. So they've toned it down because you get these two down here. Cooldown 120 to 110. Belt of the Berserker. Using this item grants all allied gods within 70 units 30% increased damage dealt to all targets, including objectives, and 50% attack speed increase, decaying every 0.5 seconds for 6 seconds. That initial pop is huge, though, dude. Damn, 30%. What does this one do, though? Belt of Insatiable Hunger. Using this item grants all allied gods within 70 units 15% increased damage dealt to all targets, including objectives, and 20% attack speed for 10 seconds. If you earn a kill or assist on an enemy god while this buff is active, the duration refreshes. Ooh. This can only occur once per use. Oh. It's not as fun. I almost like this one better. Even though it decays. But that means you get for 10 seconds. That means if you kill somebody, damn, that's 20 seconds of this. If you do that, bro, that's nuts. Anyway, Blink Rune, Greater Blink, damage mitigation been removed. Corrupted Blink Rune. Using this item will allow you to teleport up to 45 units instantly. This item can not be used. Blah, yeah, if you've taken damage, whatever. On blinking, slow all enemies' movement speed and attack speed by 15% within a 25 unit radius for 2.5 seconds. I'm feeling this item's being split between like solo and jungler usage cases. Scorching Rune. Yeah, all that stuff. Oh, but it leaves behind a trail of wildfire that deals 20 true damage plus 4 true damage per level to enemies that pass through it every 0.5. Seconds for 4 seconds. This item cannot be used if you have taken... Okay, no, I'm completely wrong. What use case is this going to help you with? I mean, if you're running away from somebody and blinking out, okay. I was kind of hoping for an aggressive usage. Other than this, like a damage increase. I thought they were going to do it that way. I thought we were going to say it's a slow, which would be good if you're getting blink on a tanky god, and then this one is like a damage increase thing if you're like playing a jungler, but they did not do it that way. Anyway, Bracer Radiance, power buff increase from 10 to 15 seconds, cooldown increase from 100 to 120. Greater Bracer no longer functions as a sentry. Bracer of Brilliance. Place a radiant glow at a target location for 90 seconds. Allies who move through this glow gain 20% increased power and 20% movement speed for 8 seconds. Ooh, big time. This fragment acts as a sentry ward if destroyed. The cooldown of the relic is reduced by 20 seconds. How convenient. I get power and MS. Wow. Bracer of Illumination. Allies who move through this glow gain 10% increased power above half health or 15% movement speed if below half health for 8 seconds. Okay. What's the difference of these items? This one's just better. What? What's the point of this? On each... Oh, a light sprite appears patrolling back and forth and revealing enemies along the way. I guess that's it. I feel like this one's just better. Whatever. Anyway. Meditation Cloak. Increase base health restore from 8 to 12. Increase missing health scaling from 5 to 6%. They've buffed it, but the cooldown's been increased. And then this one is like same numbers, but a shorter cooldown. Cloak of the Ascetic. Interesting. Using this item causes you to enter a meditative state where nearby allied gods within 35 units restore 40 plus 7% of their missing health and mana each tick. Heals occur once every second for 4 seconds. Each pulse reduces cooldowns for all abilities by 1.5 seconds. Cloak of the Avatar. Using this item causes you in meditative state. Allied gods gain 12 plus 6% of their missing health and mana each tick. Heals occur every 4 seconds. You also gain a protective barrier of wind that explodes if an enemy comes within 15 units, knocking them back. Interesting. Use case, do you want more healing or do you want more peel? This is an interesting way to break this down. Cursonk and Great Cursonk have the same icon. Okay, that's not helpful. Cursonk shield damage increase from 50 to 75%. Added 10% increased damage taken debuff when healed by god abilities. Oh, so this doesn't, these don't stop healing. These don't affect healing then. They just make you take more damage now when you healed. And that's it. And then this one, same thing. Decrease the damage taken debuff from 20 to 10%. And then the cooldown's shorter, 120 to 100. Here's the rest of it. Blighted Ankh. Using this item replaces the healing received by all enemy gods within 55 units. Reduces the healing received by 60% for 10 seconds. And removes 75% of any applied shield. Enemies that are healed by god abilities take 20% more damage from all sources. All healing reduced by this effect is instead distributed to your allies in a 40 unit radius around you. What? Dude, it's like... But we still got the... Dude, what? You can get this, and if you have Amulet, Tainted Amulet, bro, then you get more healing back to yourself, too. That's crazy. That's fun. Using this item reduces the healing received by all enemy gods within 55 units by 40% for 10 seconds. Removes 75% of shields. Enemies that are healed by god abilities while affected by this curse cause a pool of miasma to form beneath them that persists for 6 seconds. This deals 2% of the enemy's current health every 0.5 seconds. All enemies are inside it and refreshes the Ankh debuff effect. Do these stack? So if you have two people on top of each other, do the pull stack? And can you take more? That would be pretty funny. If you hit a big CC on somebody and pop this, and you hit like 3 people, we'll have to see. That would be interesting. And Heavenly Wings, they do the thing. No haste effect on this. Cooldown's shorter on that one. Entangling Wings, using this item increases the movement speed of all gods within 55 units for 20%. For 5 seconds, I'm presuming, and making you immune to slows. Pretty normal. On this relic also brutes enemies around you for 1 second. Why? It's kind of cheese that it's just, oh, you're rooted because I used the thing. And now I run away from you. Using this, okay, Hasten Wings, and we can assume what this will do. Increasing the movement speed of ally gods within 55 units for 20% for 4 seconds. Makes them immune to slows and grants haste, causing them to be immune to basic attack movement penalty. For the duration, a successful basic attacks increase the duration by 1 second up to additional 4 seconds. So you get immunity and you get more if you hit an auto. What? Okay, so we're going to reward you for the basic usage of this item. Why? You're making it too easy. Wait, a little horrific emblem. Increased attack speed debuff from 15 to 25 seconds. What? Added 50% decreased damage dealt debuff. To the tier 1? Why? What? This is broken, dude. That's too much. And then this one's no changes. You had the opportunity here to do something else with this. You could have made the attack speed debuff less on this. You could have not had the damage dealt debuff or had a lower one and then put that on this one. But no, you just put it on the tier 1, on the free one. Huh? What? Okay. Moving on. Emblem of Increasing Peril. Oh no. Using this item slows the movement speed of all enemy gods within 35 units by 30% for 5 seconds. Their attack speed is also reduced by 25%. For the duration, additionally, the damage dealt is reduced by 15%. If an enemy deals 10% of an ally god's maximum health, and this time the debuff effects are increased by 10% each. Stacking up to 3 times. What? No. Stop. So you're like a hunter. If you crit somebody, you just get all of it at once. Oh my god. Why would you do this? Yeah, let me get a 60% slow and a 55% attack speed reduction. Because I hit somebody with an auto. Because I hit a squishy with an auto. Ooh. Okay, moving on. This is the same things. Damage dealt is reduced. Yeah, if an enemy is dealt 30% of their maximum health during the duration, they are trembled for 1.5 seconds. It's arbitrarily. What? I don't even like that. That's not even that good. This is stupid. Because that's broken. This is kind of underwhelming because Tremble is weird and you get it for dealing the 30% maximum health that we were talking about to get the full stack of this. Anyway, Magic Sail. Increased damage reduction from basic attacks from 20 to 25%. Greater has a cooldown change. Fortifying Shell. Using this item applies a shield to themselves and allies in 35 units for 100 health plus 12 per god level for 3 seconds. Additionally, all allies take 50% reduced damage from basic attacks. When the shield is broken or expires, allies gain a new buff providing 20% mitigation and 20% movement speed for seconds. Do you guys understand how broken damage mitigation is? And you give a movement speed? I don't like that. Straight up OP. What if I'm Osiris and I get shell on purpose and then you break my shell and then I just get this and I keep autoing you and you can't kill me? Haha. I mean, dude, that's... you can manipulate that mechanics too easily. Phantom Shell. Using this item applies shield to themselves and allies within 35 units for 150 health plus 15 health per god level. 50% reduced health damage from autos. Also allows you to pass through players and player-made objects. So Phantom has been nuked. It is gone. And we have this. Purification Beads. We know these do. These got increased cooldown. Chaotic Beads. Using this item removes crowd control effects. Makes you immune to new ones for 2 seconds. Any CC effect that is cleansed during that time, including evasion, sends out homing projectile to the enemy who applied it, dealing 7% of their... What is this maximum health? Percent of maximum health everywhere on these things? This is just dumb. What if you do this? What if you go into a team fight and then somebody's got the new jungle buff, the Hydrous Scepter, and it's like, oh, you've just taken 10% of your maximum health because you hit somebody. What? I don't know, man. That's jank. You got something, combining those together. This is basically as good as Soul Reaver. I don't know. This one doesn't do anything else except it reduces your cooldowns by 3 seconds. Shield of Thorns with an E. Oops. Decrease reflect damage from 30% to 25. Added minus 25% lifesteal debuff. Okay. Change the wording to make sure you understand how it works. And this one has a lifesteal debuff of 50. No, it's been decreased to the same number, 25%. Okay. Thorns of Overgrowth. Using this item reflects 25%. Yeah. For the next 5 seconds back to its owner's magical damage. If you were dealt 120 asterisk. What? 120 times your level of damage will take while the effect is active. The effect will end early. While this is active, enemies can only lifesteal from you 50% of their total lifesteal. Additionally, you gain 5% movement speed and attack speed for each enemy god within 20 units. Why? They're back to 25%. 25% movement and attack speed. Oh, back. Oh, right. Oh, it's Osiris again. You get this, and you get the weird shell thing, and you just W key, right? Yeah, that's fun. I know that's one specific use case, but still, dude, that's like, you're abusing... You can abuse a god's existing passive by using relics. That's not how that's supposed to work. Thorns of Sapping Strength. Using this item reflects 35% of all damage you take before mitigations. Blah, blah, blah. For the next 2 seconds only. What? Oh, this is active. Enemies can only lifesteal from you 75% of their total lifesteal. That might be a typo. Each basic attack from enemy gods reduces the cooldown of this item by 0.5 seconds. Decrease cooldown from 120 to 80 seconds. Damn. Wait, Sundering Spear. Shield damage increased from 50 to 75%. Cool. Current health damage reduced from 12.5 to 7.5%. Increased damage taken buff decreased from 7 to 5%. Holy crap. Are we going to get through these sometime soon? Sundering Blast Fire, a bolt that travels 70 units, stopping on first god hit and splashing in a 20 unit radius, dealing 15% of their current health as true damage and reducing any active shields by 75%. Targets hit take 5% increased damage for 5 seconds. Stacking 2 times. This relic has 2 charges. Woohoo. Is that... Wait, splashing in a 20 unit radius? What? So does that affect everybody in the radius? That's kind of broken. Dude, Cerberus, man, you ult, big ult. You shoot this once, everyone's screwed. Same with Jing Chen. Again, we're finding use cases where these relics can be abused just by how a god works. Sundering Siphon, fire a bolt that travels 50 units, stopping on the first god hit, reducing any active shields by 75%, linking them to you. For the next 4 seconds, they are dealt 5% of their current health as 2 damage, again, with the current health. Every second, you receive half that amount as healing. Enemies can break the length if they move past 60 units from you. This relic has 2 charges. A second hit on the same target will just refresh the duration. What about a hit on another target? Do you get doubled as a stack? Or does it affect both of them? And so you get extra healing? Cringe? What? Teleport Fragment. Name change from Teleport Glyph to Fragment. Okay. Greater can no longer teleport to wards. Decrease cooldown. Oh, we're at the end of these. Thank God. There's only a billion more items to talk about. Heroic teleport. Teleport to the thing. The structure of the ward while we're in place. This effect is not interrupted by damage, but is interrupted by hard CC. After teleporting, you gain slow immunity, 20% movement speed, and 40 protections for 10 seconds. This is a teleport in and you go off, I guess, and hit some people. So you teleport, you run out, you help out your team, hence the heroic teleport. Next we have persistent teleport. Using this item allows you to teleport to any allied structure or ward while rooted in place, yeah. Kills and assists on enemy guns reduce the cooldown by 10 seconds. Cooldowns decrease from 160 to 90 seconds. Good lord, man. You can't just be flying around the map with a teleport. Are you people crazy? This one's 130. Why not make that 120 or something if you want it to have lower number? I don't know, man. Some of this stuff is either... These are either underwhelming or they're too powerful. Like, I don't know what to do with this, man. Glyph items. These are essentially tier 4 items. That's all you need to know, really. I'm not reading this. I'm like, it's a full item with another passive. Do I really need to talk about it? I mean, like, they're just trying... If you get to the end of the game, oh, you get superpowers now. No. Games are boring, I guess. Glyph items will have the same stats and passive as their base item, but with an additional passive. It will cost an additional 600 gold. That might have to go up depending on how these go. There is no level restriction or amount restriction on glyph items. Players can get as many as their class allows. No. Amulet of Silence. Upgraded from Heartward. Gain a stack each time an enemy within 40 units of you cast an ability at 5 seconds. Your next basic attack against an enemy god will silence them for 1.5 seconds. Amulet of Stronghold. 20% of your physical protections are converted to magical protections. Okay. This is dumb. Like, you just get a free silence, bro. Breastplate of Determination. From Breastplate of Valor. Each time you are hit by an ability, gain a stack of 5 protections that corresponds to the damage type you were hit with, up to a max of 4 of each type. Once you reach max stacks of both kinds, gain a burst of 20% movement speed for no reason, and double your protections gained by this effect for 8 seconds. After which those stacks are removed. 220. So you just get 40 extra protections of both and 20% movement speed. That's a full item. That's just a full item on top of a full item. That's not... It's not cool. Breastplate of Vigilance. When your ultimate ability is finished casting, you provide an aura of 40 unit range around you, reducing the basic attack damage from enemies by 30. Why? No! These are all bad. I hate this. No, ew. And you're going to tell me a god can have both of these? Can have one of these. They can have this one, and they can have one of these too if they built breastplate. Like, what? And now doing this with Deathbringer, I'm okay with because this item's passive is literally increases the damage your crits do. Plus 50 power. That's it. It doesn't do anything, so this is fine, maybe. And Venomed Deathbringer. Critical hits on enemy gods inflict them with poison for 2 seconds. The poison slows them by 10% and reduces their damage output by 15%. Poison Star is gone. At least they're streamlining, I guess. Having Jotun's Wrath give you an upgrade, that's broken. That item's already too strong. That item's already really strong. Why would you do that? Anyway. Before that, Malicious Deathbringer. Successfully hitting a guy with Critical Strike will subtract 1 second from all your abilities currently on cooldown, except your ultimate. Malice has been removed from the game. Jotun's Ferocity. Your next basic attack marks an enemy god. If you hit the marked enemy or the marked enemy hits you with a basic attack or ability, gain a stack. Each stack provides 2% increased damage towards the marked enemy, stacking up to 10 times. This effect can only occur every 60 seconds. Bro, what? So, how does it work then? Because if you get hit by something, you get a stack of 2%, stacking up to 10 times. But it only occurs every 60 seconds. So how do you get stacks? That needs more explanation. Jotun's Vigor. If you drop beneath 40% health, gain 2% movement speed and 40% physical ability. 40%? For 5 seconds. This may only occur once every 15 seconds. Okay. That's too much. That's too much lifesteal too often. I don't like this. Gods are going to try to cheese and build Soul Eater just so they can get full health. Pele's just going to do this so she can get full health if you decide to fight her. And then Calamitous Ratatouille. Oh boy. Successfully hitting an enemy god with an ability calls down a meteor that lands after 1.5 seconds, dealing 100 plus 30% of your magical power damage in a 15-unit radius. Why? I do more damage. I give you pin big damage and do more damage when your target's at 50% health. And now the big rock comes down out of the sky and hits you in the head and just arbitrarily does extra damage. At least it's only once every 90 seconds. Nibble Ratatouille. For every 40 magical power you have, you gain 2% attack speed. So if I'm Kronos and I build like 600 power. Oh no. Or Sol. Oh. Okay. Yeah, that's. Balance. I'm bad at math, so I'm not going to do the calculation right now to actually say how many that is. How many stacks that is. But that could be a lot. We're not sure. Anyway, they're changing crit because this has always been talked about. Chose not to make it something different. So they made it right, but they adjusted the mathematical system behind crit, so it's not completely random anymore. Anyway, critical damage multiplier has been reduced 2 times, damage to 1.75 times. Why? The critical strike chance algorithm has been changed from full random to pseudo RNG to allow for more consistent critical strike chance over multiple hits. It will become more likely to get a normal hit the longer a crit streak occurs. It will be more likely to get a crit the longer a miss streak occurs. Critical hit sprees and critical hit and miss sprees are both less likely on the extreme ends. So it's consistent application of crit. So people on both ends, the user and the person who's getting autoed, will have more consistent expectations for what's going to happen to them. which means Spectral Armor is actually probably a better item now, because there's more of a chance of it being used effectively because your opponent's more likely to crit you when they haven't for a few autos. Still going to do more with the relics, but relics are still here. I mean, starters are still here, so that's fine. I would be disappointed if they weren't. Anyway, Warriors X decreases the power from 15 to 10, decrease magical power from 20 to 15. These are just being tuned a little bit more. Bluestone decrease cost from 800 to 700 again. Seer of the Jungle upgrade, increased physical protections from 25 to 35, increase the amount of damage you deal to jungle monsters from 30 to 35%, increase ward vision buff duration from 20 to 30 seconds. Okay. Protector of the Jungle, increase physical power from 65 to 70. Tainted Steel, 50 gold decrease. Okay. And now we get to item balance, because this focuses on solo lane. Why? Oh, okay. Solo lane went through a lot of shifts to keep the lane aggressive and physical, which resulted in them having a lot of damage and chunks simultaneously. This is being toned down, along with a key mage ADC item, a class that is really taken over the map right now. Mystical Mail, our old friend that seems incredibly difficult to balance. Decreased damage aura from 30 plus 1 per level, magical damage per second to 25 plus 1 per level. So not as potent immediately or late. That's fine. Still the same stat wise. Fridwind decreases shield from 125% of your protections to from your items to 100. Bulwark of Hope decrease health shield from 15% of max health to 12%. Guess that item was overperforming a little bit. Telkine's Ring decrease magical power from 100 to 90. This is going to bring mage ADCs down. Okay, sure. 10 power off of a critical item. $10 power. Okay. That's really going to hit him. Going to hit him real hard, guys. Son of a bitch. Voidstone, increase health from 150 to 250. Okay, increase magical protection or debuff from 10 to 15%. I don't care. This item is underbuilt, so. Emperor's Armor, increase health from 250 to 300. Increase tower attack speed buff from 40 to 50%. Okay, better defense side buff. Holy crap. There's so much. Jade Emperor's Crown, increase health from 200 to 250. Increase physical power or debuff from 25 to 30. Big item changes here for this stuff because, well, Blackthorn is like the most popular solo item right now. Now built off Heavy Hammer. This has just been changed. Same passive, I guess. And now it's got protection. Well, no. Okay, no. This is not what I meant. I wanted this to be nerfed. You can't add protections and have 300 health. You cannot do this. Dude, we learned nothing from 6 years ago when items had too much health and prots at the same time on them and you couldn't kill any tanks in the game. Did we not learn that that doesn't work? It's unhealthy for the game, but we're going to do it anyway. It's 25, so it's not a big deal. I guess that's what they're thinking. Runeforged Hammer, is this item even any different? I don't know. Probably not. That looks the same. I think it's less health. Whatever. It literally does the same thing. Height of the Nemi line, increase physical protections from 80 to 90. Decrease time to gain block stacks from 15 to 10 seconds. Berserker Shield, increase physical protection from 35 to 45. Mages have been struggling, especially high levels. for Mage ADCs and Midlane Hunters to push them out. We're going to see what we're doing here for these guys. Staff from Ridden, still not going to get built, but increased magical power from 95 to 105, increased duration of passive from 6 to 8 seconds. Celestial Legion Helm, increased magical power from 70 to 90, decreased physical protections from 40 to 30. Still a marginally good defense item, but now more power. Hey, Warlock Staff, increased magical power from 85 to 95. Which means it'll have 10 more power when it's stacked as well. Garment's Coin, increased magical power from 70 to 80. That's where we started, I believe. Obshard has decreased cost from 2550 to 2450. And magical power has gone up from 90 to 100. Hunters are getting changes because of how crit works. They're changing some of these items because, yeah, crit does less damage now, as they explain mathematically, to adjust for the fact that it's not pure RNG anymore. Rage increased power from 30 to 35. Fail not decrease cost from 2800 to 2650. Deathbringer increased power from 50 to 55. Increased critical strike chance from 25 to 30. Decreased costs from 3000 to 2900. Shadow Steel increased attack speed from 15 to 20%. Increased duration of healing, reduction buff from 6 to 10 seconds. Mouse is gone. This is gone. Atalanta's Bow, 2350, 40 power, 25% attack speed, 20% crit chance. Hey, 10% lifesteal. Okay, let's throw every stat in the game at it. Every stat you want as a hunter has been put on this item at once for some reason. Okay. I know someone who will be happy with that item because I have a friend that eternally believes that hunters are underpowered and do not get enough balance catered to them. But I mean, just cramming a bunch of stats on one item is not it's not ideal for an adjustment. Silver Branch Bow, increased cost from 2200 to 2400. Increased percent physical pen from 10 to 20%. Oy. Power's Gauntlet, decreased stack count from 70 to 50. Increased power per stack from 0.5 to 0.8, which is a total power increase at the top end from 65 to 70. So that means faster ramping, more power. It's always fun, I guess. I mean, Devs isn't really being built right now, so, go for it with the buff. Toxic Blade, increased max stacks from 2 to 3. Increased max healing reduction for this item can now provide 40. It can now provide 60% instead of 40. And then a few assassin items. Shouldn't be a whole lot here because junglers are kind of high value right now, I think. Just gameplay wise. But they may still be buffing them because some items might be underperforming because everyone's going for that kind of, pin and mace tree route, So maybe the builds will be changed up, but I kind of doubt it because the current building idea might just be more efficient for your damage. Hydrous increased cost from 2150 to 2300. Added 10% physical pen. Golden Blade increased physical power from 30 to 35. Increased attack speed from 15 to 20%. Soul Eater increased physical power from 20 to 25. Evolved Soul Eater increased physical power from 35 to 40. Increased ability lifesteal from 20% to 25. You guys remember when I said some gods are going to be too strong because of the relic that gives you ability lifesteal when you get below a certain amount of health? Yeah, it's worse now. So that's fun. Pele and Bastet. Anybody? Yep. Blood Force decreased cost from 2000 to 2750. Added 5% movement speed. That's such an afterthought. You just, oh, we just tack something on it so it looks like we did something, I guess. Why? That seems really pointless. Atlas is going to get buffed because duh. Kinetic charge dealing damage to minions. Wait a minute. No. Oh, God. You're going to make him playable in solo, guys. And don't do that. We don't want that. We're done with that meta. We hate it. Everybody hates it. Nobody enjoys Guardians in solo. But you got to make him playable anyway because now I can run through. Because now my highest damage ability does damage to minions. Great. General, increase base movement speed from 365 to 370. Increase base HP from 460 to 410. 490 to 510. Excuse me, I can't speak. Increase HP per level from 92 to 100. That's a lot. I mean, over time, maybe it's a lot. I don't know. See how much more health he actually gets. So that would be 2,000 plus an extra 20. 20, that's 1810 to 2K. 220. So he's getting 210 more health. If I did my math correctly. I guess that's good. That's hard to quantify whether or not that's good. Astrolabe decreased the size of the passive meter UI. That's probably a good change. Unburdening. Increased base damage from 30 to 170 to 50 to 190. Okay. Just 20 damage more at the top. What? That's just 20 more damage across the board. Okay. Increased slow from 15 to 25% to 20 to 30%. Just making it cringe. Atlas is now knockback immune while firing the gravity pull. Okay. My concern about this is because the complaints people made, Hydrous is going to buff him to a point where he's very good and playable, and also playable in solo. And I think those are bad things for the game. Some people would probably disagree because they just don't understand how to play this god correctly. He didn't really need much of a buff. And this one does not help. This ability now damages minions it passes through. That's not good. The ability now has a base slow of 25% applied to enemy gods hit, even if no slows were cleansed. So they decrease the stacks from the unburdened thing. Or from the burden thing. I don't like this because now he's just got a massive ability for clear, which means he's got a bunch of other ones to just beat you with. Gonna be too strong. Kamazats decrease self-heal from on Devour from 8 to 40 to 8 to 32. Bat out of Hell increase cooldown from 90 seconds to 100. Increased base damage from decreased base damage from 100 to 80 to 100 to 260 per hit. So most of these nerfs are going to be gods that we knew were already too strong. Coming into the end of the season here. Soul Radiance decreased passive heat generation from 40 to 80% to 30 to 70. Disapparate increased cooldown from 15 seconds to 16 seconds. Decrease movement speed from 20 to 40 seconds to 20 to 30 seconds. Bastet Razor Whip decreased physical power scaling from 25% to 20% per tick. 100 to 80% total. Huntress of Bast added additional audio cues on the pre-fire of this ability for clarity. Increased cooldown from 90 seconds to 110 down to 90 at max rank. Odin increased cooldown on lunge from 15 to 11 seconds to 16 to 12 seconds, and on Raven Shout to the same number. Nike Sentinel of Zeus decreased shield from 30 to 40% to 25 to 35. Gabstone shield decreased shield health scaling from 20 per Gebs level to 15 per Gebs level. Decreased max shield from 650 to 550. Decreased shield duration from 3 to 5 to 2 to 4. And then some buffs for our underplayed gods. Arachne Web decreased cooldown from 16 to 14 seconds. Granted, this god has a high win rate in casual matches and in low ranked conquest ranked matches. Outside of that, she's not played, so to do that. Amaterasu Heavenly Reflection increased uncharged damage from 70 to 190 to 70 to 210. Increased fully charged damage from 140 to 380 to 140 to 420. I'm not certain if Amaterasu really is in a bad state right now. It might just be a gameplay thing. But I don't know. Her difficulty in lane might just be the way she deals damage is a little bit inconvenient for against most other solo laners, because you don't get an immediate burst, and in fact you are punished for doing that, because her Heavenly Reflection will do more damage when it's charged, which is probably why they're buffing the uncharged damage. But it's kind of a nuanced thing with Amaterasu. But Jormungandr increased base move speed from 365 to 370. Removable decreased self-slow from 20 to 15%. And decreased damage taken debuff from 10 to 5%. They probably could have left that. Venomous Haze increased slow from 15 to 20%. Increased base damage from 10 to 50 to 15 to 55 per tick. That's a big damage increase for an ability that has tick damage after its initial damage. Tier Lawbringer increased base damage from 150 to 450 to 200 to 600. We like big round numbers. Baba Yaga. Baba's Brew increased damage from 85 to 225 to 95 to 235. Excuse me, guys. This has been a long time talking for me. Home Sweet Home, remove self-root on fire, reduce pre-fire time from 0.5 to 0.2 seconds. Kurnanos, shift your season, increase summer stance physical power scaling from 5 to 7.5%. Bramble Blast, direct hits now apply a root and cripple instead of just a root. Please let it be over. Chernobog, Heart of Cold, increased base damage on detonate from 15 to 20% of Chernobog's base attack power. Crystallized Curse, speed up the travel time on the initial hit. Increase range 55 to 60. Horus, updraft damage scaling from 60 to 75% of Horus's physical power. This god doesn't need a buff. I don't know why this is here. Increased gust damage from 20 to 60% to 30 to 70%. 15 to 13 seconds to 14 to 12. They didn't say the cooldown decrease. They just gave us numbers. Fracture, increased cleave damage from 60 to 190 to 60 to 220. You can tell I'm talking faster. I'm trying to get done. Chronos, Time Lord, decreased time per stack from 2 minutes to 1.5 minutes, buffed to 125 at 37.5 minutes. Nox, Shadow Lock, increased minion damage from 50 to 210 to 70 to 230. Update description to make sure this minion damage is clearly labeled as minion only damage. E-set. Funeral Rites, increase aura radius of ally buff from 40 units to 55 units. This god didn't really need a buff either, but Wing Gust decreased mana cost from 80 to 100 mana to 60 to 80. Spirit Ball increased base damage from 70 to 230 to 70 to 250. We're done with the crap. And as always, big thanks to New Skin voice actors for doing their excellent work and providing voices to those skins. But back to the top. And that is it for 9.1 update. I'm going to die now because this has been an hour and 9 minutes. Have fun watching the video, I hope, because it's a long one. With that, thank you everybody for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. I've been talking so long I'm forgetting how to outro the video. Leave a comment down below if you want. Tell me what you're excited for in the new season, or tell me what you think is awful. And I will see you guys next time for some more Smite. Have a good one.